In the previous video, we identified, classified conics as either circle, ellipse, hyperbola, or parabola. But in this video, I'm going to go and find their centers or vertex, okay? So the first one, we had a circle. Circle don't have vertex, circles have center. So let's go find the center of this circle, okay? It's a mess right here. So let me try to rewrite this a little bit. Well, first of all, here's what I noticed, okay? I'm gonna copy this. All these numbers are divisible by 2, right? I noticed that negative 2, negative 2, negative 2 actually. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and divide every single terms by negative 2. And if I do that to the both sides, that's perfectly fine, right? I'm gonna divide everything by negative 2. And if I do that to the both sides, that's good. So what's the first term going to turn into? The first term is just x squared now. Next, negative 2 divided by negative 2 is positive 1, so I'm going to get positive y squared. Again, negative divided by negative, these two will give me positive 6, so I will put plus 6 there. But 4 divided by negative 2, the sign will be negative 2 this time. And lastly, negative 2 divided by negative 2 is positive 1. All that equals 0. All right, so let's complete the square, okay? Well, first of all, let's organize the x's and y's. I'm going to pull out all the x's to the front, and then let's write the y's next. And this plus 1 that I had that doesn't have x or y, let's send it to the other hand side first, okay? Negative 1 over there. Now, to complete the square for the x's, I will be adding 9 to both sides, okay? To complete the squares for the y's, let's be adding 1 to both sides. Okay, if I do that, the x's will factor into x plus 3 squared. The y's will factor into y minus 1 squared. And all that equals 9 on the other side. So here's the center. Center of this circle is at negative 3, positive 1. And they never ask us for the radius, but the radius will be square root of 9, which will be 3. So I did it pretty quickly because you and I worked on writing equation, writing equation of circle in standard form and identifying center in the beginning of the semester. But it's a good practice still, completing the square. Let me do another one in this video. We're going to work with an ellipse this time. We're still finding the center for these circle types. Let me copy this down. And unlike the previous one, I don't think I'm going to divide by negative 16 or negative 4 yet, okay? I will try to complete squares first and then divide by whatever number is sitting on the right-hand side so that we have 1 on the right side of this ellipse equation, okay? So it's a little different process, but it's very similar. So get all the x's first. Gather these to the front. And then I'm going to get my y's. Negative 4y squared minus 16y. And this 96, I'm going to send it to the other side. Positive 96. Before we can complete the square for the reds and blue this time, they both need some work. So I'm going to factor out the negative 16 from the reds. So then I get x squared plus 6x, right? And from the blues, let me factor out the negative 4. Then we get y squared plus 4y. All that equals 96. Now to complete the square, I will be adding 9 inside this parenthesis. But it's inside is adding 9. But if you distribute this, that's actually negative 16 times 9, right? So that is what I will need to add to the right-hand side, okay? What about the blue one? I know I'm going to be adding 4 right here, but if you multiply negative 4 times 4, we're actually adding negative 16 to the left-hand side. So I'm going to get it. Where's my calculator? I'm going to go ahead and multiply 16 times 9 real quick, okay? Got my baby calculator over here, 16 times 9. That is 144. So guys, I am subtracting 144 on the right-hand side. And I'm also subtracting 16 right there, okay? Okay, let's simplify this. I will get negative 16, x plus 3 squared for the x squares. For the y's, we will get minus 4, y plus 2 squared. And all that equals, let's combine these. I have 96 minus 144 minus 16. That comes out to be negative 64. But it's all right. Everything's negative. That means once we divide everything by negative 64, divide all sides by negative 64, things will simplify to be positive. So I'm out of room, so let me see. I'm going to try to make these a little bit smaller, okay? So here's going to be the answer. Well, how do you simplify this fraction 16 over 64? Well, that's going to give us x plus 3 squared over positive 4. And how do you simplify this negative 4 over 64? Well, that's going to now turn into y plus 2 squared over 16, right? Okay, all that equals what? 1 on the right side. Woohoo, that was a lot of work. Now, but we're ready to tell the center. Center is going to be at negative 3, comma, negative 2. Okay, so as you can tell, rewriting for ellipse was much more difficult than rewriting for circle, but they both actually involve the same skill of completing squares. So review these, okay, how to find centers of these two types of conics. In the next video, I will show you how to find the center of the hyperbola and the vertex of the parabola.